Mayor Mashburn, City of Simi Valley, California. Thank you for taking time to talk to me today. Firefighter, Ventura County Fire Department, 30 years. You says here you worked in the supervisor's office for a little while as an aide, and now the city council, and now mayor since mayor since 2018, city council since 2012. Public service seems to be a big part of your resume. Has that always been something you enjoy doing, or you've planned from the start?
Well, I would say not something I always planned on doing. I enjoy doing public relations type work. And prior to becoming a firefighter, I worked for the Omaha International Corporation down in Orange County.
Mm.
And I did a lot of travel for them and a lot of public relations type work for the company. And when I left there, it was, gee whiz, way back. We're talking 1973. And I became interested in the fire service. And so I pursued that. And after a couple of years of preparing myself and schooling and what have you, volunteer firefighter, I became a full-time firefighter for the county of Ventura. And I went through there, and in my last, approximately last year there, I was put in charge of the public relations unit, or PIO, because the person that was in charge of it retired. And so it was given to me as a collateral duty. I was actually the chief fire investigator, but so I also handled the PIO office, and I enjoyed that a lot, and I liked reaching out and talking to the press and going to events where there were a lot of questions asked, and I felt I had the information and the ability to present it. So I enjoyed it. And when I left the fire department in 2005, Judy Michaels appointed me to the Ventura County Airport Commission.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that for a while, reported to her. She was the supervisor in the 4th district. And then she asked me to go to work for her. And so I did as an aide. And that's what really started getting me interested in the political, if you will, and public service as a council member or planning commissioner, that type of thing. But she's the one that really got me to look at serving in a different capacity, and that as an elected official.
So you've been on the council, we'll say, since 2012. You've been a council member and mayor. How has the city of Simi Valley changed, for you being in a position to observe that change? How has it changed in your time on the council?
Well, that's a tough question. My goal coming onto the council was to bring a higher level of transparency. I'm a firm believer in that participation by the public and complete transparency gives the public the ability to convey to the elected the direction they'd like to see the city go. And the city wasn't doing bad in a sense, but like anything, I saw room for improvement, and I just wanted to make it smoother for the public to see the operation of the city and to be able to give their input. And I think I've accomplished some of that. It's not to the degree that is what I would say perfect, but it's certainly good. And with the city staff that we have, they always work with me to continually look for ways to improve the communications between the city and the constituency.
And what do you think is everyone's current biggest issue is the pandemic, coronavirus. What do you see as your biggest issue that you have tackling right now?
Biggest issue, and I think it is probably an issue within all cities. Always number one is public safety, meaning active first responders and quality first responders, and plenty of them, whether that be police or fire, ambulance services, and good medical services to our community. But I think every community has that as their number one priority, and we'll always see these communities striving to enhance and improve their medical services and their police protection. So I always have to put that number one. So number two is right there with them. And that in our city is economic development.
Mm-hmm. And how do you see yourself, I guess, fortifying or improving the public safety first responder? Do you do active recruiting within the city? Is that a big part of your plan to have the first responders look like the constituents of Simi Valley?
Oh, definitely. That's a very good point you bring up. And our city in the last, I'd say 5 years, the hiring process has improved greatly for new police officers. The outreach that the current chief has done has been extremely effective. And we're hiring not only a very diversified group, but an outstandingly qualified group. We're seeing far more officers go through the training processes and academies and completing with high scores, and at the same time adding the look of the community, if you will, or the diversity that represents what we have in our city. And I see this as a very strong, positive move on the part of the police department.
Now, when I think of Simi Valley, I think of the Reagan Library. How important is the library to the community of Simi Valley?
I think it's extremely important. We're very fortunate to have the library in our city because the library has such a good reputation, and it's a great training ground for youth. And at the same time, it's a place for people from literally all over the country and all over the world to visit and see our city, but also see a piece of our government without being pushed in a direction of right or left. I always tell people I could care less if you're right or left. You need to go see the library, and you'll walk out of there not feeling that you need to go right or left, but you'll walk out of there feeling like a patriot.
I guess what other reasons would attractions or I looked at your, I guess it's your visitor site, Visit Simi Valley. Why would people other than the Reagan Library, why would they go to Simi Valley? What would they want to do when they get to Simi Valley?
Well, they'd want to visit the mayor's office. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I think what really one of the draws is our trail system that surrounds the valley, and it's a beautiful area for people to hike and mountain biking and just enjoying the outdoors, and at the same time taking in things like the Corriganville Park, which is at the east end of the city, and you can walk the trails where Roy Rogers, Hopalong Cassidy, and you name a country western movie or star, and it happened in that particular area. and you can walk those same trails where all those movies were filmed. There's even the remnants of Sherwood, I think it's called Sherwood Lake, and that was in the Robin Hood series, and where Tarzan did his swimming and underwater photography that was done in the filming of those movies. So I think those are just some of the attractions that if you want to get out of the vehicle and take a small hike, you're going to be thrilled at what you see.
Yeah, so you have on the website a films section that gives you all the things you need to know if you're coming from Hollywood to film there. And Big Lebowski, Captain America, Poltergeist. Do you know what? I'm a Marvel fan. Do you know what scene in Captain America was filmed in Simi Valley?
No, I don't. I apologize for
Yeah.
that. I do know, like the Thornburgs were here. Little House on the Prairie was here. So it's a great film location, great history of film here. The Brandeis Institute that property was once owned by James Arnaz, and he spent a lot of time here in the city many years ago, but had a beautiful ranch up there that I think he gave to the Brandeis Institute, or college now.
So going forward, I mean, you're reelected in 2020. What do you see happening in Simi Valley going forward?
Well, with the pandemic, it slowed us down a little. There's no getting around that, and that won't remain the same. The staff here at the city is raring to go and easy to work with, and I think we'll see the continued efforts to improve everything that needs to be improved. And by that, it could be like I like to refer to the economic development, bringing new businesses in, but that's almost every city in Southern California strives to bring in more businesses to their community. And we have challenges based on some of the rules we have in the city and rules that we have in the county, and then challenges facing us based on laws that the state is coming down with.
Okay, well, is there anything you want to say to the citizens of Simi Valley?
Well, I've lived here all my life. This is I call it an island in a very large region. I think we're very fortunate to live here. I loved the word community because that's exactly what we are. There's no hardcore divisions. There's, we do have problems just like any city, but we address those problems. And this is a great place to live. It's a great place to have your children go to school. And I enjoy the part of being able to walk throughout our city and talk to people and have them talk to me. And we're just, the word community describes us very well.
Well, great. Well, thank you very much for your time. Hopefully this isn't the last time we speak.
Okay. Yeah. Anytime. Thank you very much, Andre, for what you're doing.
Thank you very much. You have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.